I'm Elizabeth with MamaCanDoIt.com, and I've had a couple questions about my sling pattern, the pouch sling actually. So today I'd like to just show you a couple things. Before I show you the tips that I wanted to just show you my personal pouch sling that I use every day. This is it. It's pretty. This one is very loved. You can tell it's been used a lot. It's kind of wrinkly because it stays in my diaper bag. I stuff it in and then pull it out when I need it again. So it's pretty simple. You've got one edge that's straight, which is this edge over here. That's actually the fold. And then you've got this curved edge over here, and this is actually where your seam is. And you can see I put my pocket kind of on the side of the seam. This is when I first started making them, and I didn't know exactly how to put a pocket on. So I have it here on the side. Now I like to put them right over top of the seam, and I'll show you why in just a second. So basically all you do to use this is you've got it like this, and you fold it inside of itself like this. You get it all straight. And then you can see you've got half of a curve here, and then this side is obviously still straight. This is the part you're going to put on your shoulder. So you slip it on like as if you're Miss America. And then you've got your seamed edge here. Now, how I've been wearing Claire lately is I've actually been wearing her on my hip, because you want your baby's butt to go right on that seam, because that's what the curve is for, is to come nice around your baby's bottom. So if you wanted to wear them right in front of you, you would simply put the seam where the bottom of it lines up with your belly button. If you wanted to put your baby on your hip, you could still put your baby in this way and then slide it over. And this is also how you put the baby on your back, is you put your baby in, slide it all the way over to your back, keep it over one shoulder. And then what I like to do, just to keep my baby nice and snug in there, because you'll notice this top rail, that's what these long edges are called, they're called rails. You'll notice that this top rail will actually feel kind of loose once your baby is in there, even your bigger babies. And so what I like to do is simply fold this top rail on my shoulder. So you can see this one is still normal, just flat, and then this top rail, I just fold it in half like that, and that just pulls your baby nice and snug onto your body. So let me get started showing you the little tips I've got. Okay, so since I already have a very loved pouch sling that I use every day, I didn't figure I needed to make a full-size one. But my kids would definitely like another one for their baby dolls, so I'm just going to use something that's small. So I apologize that it's kind of miniature size, but I hope you still get the point. So here I have this long piece of fabric that's going to be my pouch. On both rails, those are the long edges, remember, I've already folded it in. I folded it 1/2 inch and ironed it, and then I folded it again 1/2 inch and ironed it. And then what I did was I sewed very close to that inner edge there, so I'm just hemming it on both sides just like that. So each long edge or each rail is done now. But I still have these raw edges. When I say raw, all that means is that it's not sewed at all. So on each short edge here, these are still raw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this like that. I'm going to get it all nice and straight. Now, how I'm folding it is I'm putting the inside of the fabric, like if you had a print, this would be the side that is not printed on the inside. And so the print is going to be on the outside. So this is what you're going to want people to see. Then I'm going to take my pattern piece that I provide in the tutorial, and this is just something that I just made up just a few minutes ago because I needed it to be this size. And you're going to take it and you're going to put it on the raw edge, just like that. Because remember, we got to cut that curve in there for the baby's butt. So you're going to line that up and you're going to pin it. Since it's really small and since it's just for my kids, I'm not going to pin it. Don't tell them. And then you're just going to cut it right here. And this is going to give you that perfect curve. The problem is that if you have too much of a curve, it's going to be really uncomfortable for your baby. And if you don't have enough of a curve, it's not going to be comfortable for your baby or for you. So you want it just right. And this pattern piece that I've got is just right. So this is what you've got next. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sew this seam, or I'm going to sew a seam right here along this curve. I'll be right back. Okay, I have sewed this curved edge at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then what I already had done is I had trimmed it down to a 1/4 inch. You can see I just cut half of the seam allowance off right there. Then I'm going to turn this right side out. Actually, this is inside out because this is the inside of your fabric. And I'm going to press this curved seam, and then I'm actually going to sew again a 1/2 inch away from that curved edge. This is going to trap in those raw edges that are hidden in here, and this is the second part of our French seam. Okay, I have sewed this another 1/2 inch away from the edge. So this is the inside, remember? So I'm going to flip it back right side out. And you can see this curved edge here, none of those raw edges are sticking out of it. So that is done. You can wear it just like this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it inside out. And I'm going to take my sewing machine, and while I'm holding down, or you can pin it, but while I'm holding down this flap here, where the seam, the curved seam is, while I'm holding it down, I'm going to sew along the edge of it to tack it down. In my pattern tutorial, I do have it written where you can pin it, and you could. I mean, it does make things a little bit easier, but if you're anything like me and you do things with shortcuts, then just wing it. So let's go wing it. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I just winged it, and what I ended up getting was a bunch of bunched fabric, and the reason why was because this pattern piece, you know how I told you that it's not good to have too much of a curve? Well, this pattern piece that I just made up a few minutes ago for this miniature one is too curved, and because of that, it ended up bunching on me, but I'm still going to show it to you so you get the point. So basically what I did was I just took it and I sewed right next to that folded edge there to kind of tack it down. So then really nothing should be sticking up here at all where that one flap was. So you're going to turn it right side out, and you're going to have what's obviously your seam, and then the seam that you just sewed to tack it down. So all is there is just like that. And then what you can do is put your pocket on it. What I like to do that is I'll set it just like this in front of me with the curve facing upward, and you can put something that's rounded underneath. I've done that and really liked it, and then just pin on your pocket onto there, and I do pin on the pocket, otherwise they always end up crooked, and then just sew it right on top of that seam. I really like the pocket on the seam better than on the side. Wearing it just makes a lot more sense. So then after you get it all done, and you've got the folded edge here and the curved edge here, you're just going to fold it inside of itself like this, just like how I showed you earlier. And then you're going to put it on. And you'll put your baby right in on that seam. So I hope this worked out for you. Thanks a lot for joining me. So since my baby is sleeping, this is what we have to work with. I just wanted to show you really quick how the whole seam baby's butt thing worked. So here I have my sling on, and let me find that seam here. The seam is right at my belly button. So there's 100 different ways that you can put your baby in, but your baby's butt is always going to go on that seam. So you know, when they're a brand new baby, brand new infant, you're going to hold your baby up. You're going to put your baby in between the top rail and the bottom rail. Here's the bottom rail. Your baby's feet are going to go there, and you're going to gently slide your baby so that the butt is sitting right on that seam. So you can hold your baby just like this in the sling. And you're always going to want to fold this shoulder over like what I showed you earlier, because it's going to hold your baby nice and tight to you. So when they get a little bit bigger, then what you can do is turn your baby around like this and crisscross the legs and set that baby right in with the seam on baby's butt. just like that. And remember, always do the shoulder thing if it makes you more comfortable. Well, like how I'm wearing Claire right now. Oh yeah, it's always a pain to lift them way up too, by the way, take them out, but it works out good. Then what you're gonna do to do the hip thing is the same thing, except you're gonna put your baby in toward you. Now this is a little bit different of a hold, because you're gonna pull your baby in all the way through, like this, so you can see the feet, and you're gonna open up the pouch and gently set your baby's butt right there on that seam. You're gonna kind of spread your baby's legs around you, and then slowly work your sling to go to where the baby's on your hip, just like that. And then there will be a leg behind you and a leg in front of you. And you can see how the baby's kind of falling out like that? That is because you need to pull this up around the shoulders when they're over there by your hip. And then I like to pull this like that to tighten it up. See how nice and tight the baby is to me now? I like it like that. So then after you get your baby on your hip, you could also keep going and go all the way to your back. And to do that, all you're going to do is this. You're going to gently slide and probably bounce a little bit. You're going to make sure that this is nice and tight on your shoulder. Without the weight of this baby, it doesn't really get very tight. You can see the baby's nice and comfortable in there. I'm going to feel all the way around, make sure the baby's butt is in the pouch before I get walking away. Look in the mirror, make sure everything looks good. And then this is how it looks on the front. It kind of squishes you a little bit, but it's good for washing the dishes or whatever else you need to get done. So thanks for watching.